Welcome to NCS. This video has been prepared to help familiarize you with the operation of the IBM 3800 laser printer. The 3800 laser printer is a high-speed, general-purpose, non-impact printer that is capable of running more than 60 feet a minute. It uses single-ply continuous forms. As a form runs through the printer, it can go to one of two stackers, the continuous form stacker or the burster trimmer stacker, where the sheets are trimmed and cut into single sheets. Our goal for the 3800 is to produce the best possible printed form we can. This is the operator control panel. It contains the various push buttons and indicators that control the operation of the printer. The function select buttons you will be using to control the printers are the set vertical and display vertical buttons. These are used when you're lining the print up vertically on the form. The set horizontal and display horizontal buttons, which are used when lining the print up horizontally on the form. Reset allows you to reset your printer and prepare it for the next operation. Advance one page advances one page through the printer without being printed on. Printer ready is the printer for normal operation. NPRO moves blank paper through the form, and the stop puts the printer in a not ready mode. Next to these are the data entry keys. They allow you to enter characters that correspond to the functions you are performing. For example, lining up forms. The data display area shows the data you have entered on the data entry keys. The status area displays error messages and message codes. To find the meaning of the status codes, each printer has a quick reference guide that lists them in numeric order. It explains the problem and gives the correct procedures to follow to solve the problem. It is very easy to get inside a 3800. Just lift up and push back on the two folding lids. All the controls and guide marks you will use when threading and adjusting the paper are color-coded blue. Here is a brief overall description. The brush, the paper feed button, the splicing table, paper feed knob, transfer scavenger, forms tractor covers, tension bar, vacuum release lever, scuff roller lever, forms length selector, CFS panel, paper feed knob, paper feed button, scuff roller release, output tray, NPRO guide, trimmer cover handle, trimmer assembly adjustments, decurler knob. On the rear of the machine is a diagram that shows the location of all the blue coded controls. The paper feed knob, and also below the paper feed knob is a loop diagram that will help you in setting up your burster for the correct number of sheets to be in this area. You will learn more about this later. The burster plate release, forms tractor covers, motor run button, the single burst button, and the forms length selector. You will get more familiar with these controls after you've had some experience running the printer. We will now demonstrate how to thread the 3800 printer to the continuous form stacker. First, we open up a box of form. Every time we open up a box of form, we always check the top and bottom pages of each box for any torn, wrinkled, or damaged sheets, and we remove these before using the form in the printer. It is a good idea to fan through the paper with your hands. This loosens any sheets that are sticking together and prevents possible problems later with the printer. We cut or remove most of the box before placing it in the printer because of the speed at which the printer runs. Place the paper into the input station. There are 2 black arrows there to show you the proper placement of the box. Pull the box toward you till it is against the edge of the input tray. Take the top sheet of paper and thread it behind the bar and under the brush up to the input ramp. Change the CFS Forms Length selector to the proper length of the form you are using. This will turn on 2 indicator lights that will aid you later on in setting up your registration. One is on the input ramp, and the other light is up on the fuser station. Lift and open the transfer scavenger area by the handle. Open the front and rear tractor covers and pull the paper through the scavenger area. Fit the paper holes into the tractor pins and close the tractor cover so that the paper is smooth and has a correct tension. Lower the station and place the paper holes on the tractor pins on the front tractors. Push the paper feed button to get extra sheets of paper. Double over your first sheets of paper and thread it over the paper tension bar. Turn your vacuum release lever to the left and your scuff roller releaser to the thread position. Pull the paper through the fuser station. To set the correct paper registration, use the paper feed knob located at the transfer station and align the paper at the input ramp by moving the paper fold in line with the lit indicator. Align the paper at the fuser station by moving the paper fold so that it is aligned with the slot by the lit indicator. Check the base of your tension bar to make sure it's showing the correct paper length. Shut your vacuum release lever, your scuff roller to run, and guide the first few sheets into the CFS stacker area using the paper feed knob. Lower your CFS table and move the knob over to the correct width of the paper. Feed all the slack paper into the table and check to make sure your fold is correct. There is a diagram next to the table that will aid you in making sure you have the correct fold. Raise your table up to the up position. And the printer is set up to run continuous forms. To thread the paper through the burster area, at this point you would lower the output selector plate. Open the MPRO guide and trimmer assembly area and thread the paper under the MPRO guide and the input bar, placing the holes in the paper over the sprocket pins and closing the MPRO guide to hold it into place. Gently pull on the center of the paper, guiding it through the trimmers with one hand while turning the paper feed knob with the other. When you have a few sheets through the trimmers, you can close the cover and push the motor run button. This will propel the rest of the extra paper through the trimmer area. You could also get the extra paper through the trimmer area by using the paper feed knob. Once the slack has been taken up, check the chart on the machine and set the loop of your paper according to the chart, tearing off any extra sheets. Open the burster plate area and the tractor cover forms. Place the paper under the bar and into the burster area. Place about 1/2 inch of paper into the burster area and place the paper so that the edge of the paper is aligned with the blue alignment guides. Close the covers and the burster plate area, and check your form length selector to make sure it is set up for the proper length of form. If it is not, set it up so it shows the correct length. The printer has now been threaded to the burster stacker trimmer. After you have threaded the paper through the printer, it is always a good idea to push the NPRO button. This runs paper through the printer, ensuring that the form has been threaded correctly and will run smoothly through the printer before you start an actual job. Now that the printer has been threaded with paper, we are ready to tell it what to print. We do this through a writer, which runs on the mainframe. If there is not a writer on your printer when you come in, you must call one up. We have two forms of lineup jobs that aid you in lining the data up correctly on the form. One kind is included in the actual job before any real data is shown, and the other one we have to initiate ourselves. You will learn more about these in your training. The job we are going to start has a lineup included with the job, so we will not have to initiate one ourselves. We need to tell the printer what it is we wish to print. To do this, we need to go to the console and type R, your printer address, the class you're running in, the name of the form, and hit the Enter key. Now type in an S for start and the printer address. Go to your printer and push the green Printer Ready button. This will put your printer into the ready mode. It will print only the start pages of your job and then stop automatically. These are the start pages of your job. They tell you information about the job you are running. The top line will show you the batch name, the second line the program name, the third line the job name, and on the fourth line the name of the form you're using. Push the stop button on your printer and go back to your console. Type in another S for start and your printer name. This will start the actual job running on your printer. Press the Printer Ready key, but be prepared to hit the stop key right away so you can start to line up your job. The X's on the page show you where the data will print. We need to move the print so that it is lined up and spaced evenly within the columns and lines. To do this, we use the display and set buttons for the horizontal and vertical. You press the display to see what the alignment is set at, and then use your data entry keys to change it and hit your set vertical to set it in the machine. For vertical, to make the print go up on the page, you would need to lower the number. For horizontal, to make the print go to the left, you would lower the number. You will learn more about this during your actual 3800 training. Once you have changed the print, run a couple more pages and then stop the printer and check it again. Keep adjusting it till it looks like it's right. If you have any questions about what a lineup should look like, ask a senior or a permanent operator. They would be glad to help you. Here we repeat the same procedures again, moving the vertical and horizontal lines. Each time you adjust the machine, make sure you stop and check it. It is very important that we line up the forms the best that we can to have the best quality possible. A form that is not lined up correctly and printed will need to be run again. Once you feel you have the lineup correct, make sure you do stop and check the actual data. Sometimes the actual data will need a slight adjustment over what the lineup looked like. If you should happen to print the first few pages of the actual data with it not lined up correctly, we are able to restart the job and print it with it lined up. Once you have ensured that the actual data looks fine, you can let the printer run till the job is done, checking it every time you add boxes of form. But if the data does not look correct, make sure you restart the job from the beginning and print the whole job correctly. Also make sure you go back to the burster stacker trimmer area and make sure that the trimmer blades are not cutting off any data. It is very important that no data is cut off. The job will need to be rerun or restarted if any of the characters or letters are cut off. If you are unsure, ask a senior or permanent operator and they will help you. The jobs here at NCS are different lengths. Some jobs are really short, some are real long. The printer should run by itself and display any type of problem it has with the status codes. When you have finished printing a job, you will receive a job end page and the printer will stop, displaying a message on the CRT screen that the job is done. When the job is done, you need to unload it from your stacker. To do this, pull out the job, set it on the table, throw away all the blank pages before and after the job. You will want to check each job's start and end page, ensuring that it is the same job and that there are not two jobs there together. Check the information on all the lines, and when you are sure it is one job, you are ready to fill out the part card. To fill out the part card, we put down the batch number from the top line. The program number from the second line. The job number from the third line goes at the top of the card. You put in part 1 of 1 if it's a one-part job. The form number from the fourth line. Your employee number and the date it was printed. Then paperclip the part card to the output stack and place the output stack onto the cart. At the 3800, there are training manuals to aid you in learning how to run a 3800 printer. Please refer to them often and ask senior and permanent operators about any questions you have.